Okay, today we're going to make homemade chicken soup. Okay, we're going to start with a pot full of filtered water. Of course, you can just use your regular tap water if you like, but I prefer the non-taste of filtered water. And into that, we're going to toss a chicken breast, just a half a breast from the chicken. Let's put that in there. And we'll fill up the pot. At this point, you don't actually want to overfill the pot, so about 3/4 is good because there's going to be some bubbling and frothing, and you want to put it on the stove as we have here and put your burner on high. That'll get that part started while we prepare the vegetables and other ingredients. Now here's our lineup of what else will go in the soup. We have some garlic, carrots, celery, a couple of onions, a green pepper, a little cube is a bouillon cube, some ginger, and half a cup of rice. Of course you can vary this, use whatever soupy vegetables you have on hand. Potatoes are usually something I'd throw in there, but I'm out of potatoes today, so no potatoes in our soup. But this will make a great build-up for our soup. Our soup is starting to heat up. We're going to add the rice right now so that it has time to cook. Rice takes a long time. Not much longer than the vegetables, so we'll put those in later. Here we have our washed and cleaned vegetables. The carrots have been peeled, the tips and ends have been cut off, the onions have been prepared. Celery, again, chop off the ends, wash it up. You don't have to remove the leaves. The leaves actually go great in a soup and a celery, so don't just limit yourself to the stalks. You know, pepper's been cut and seeded, the garlic cloves have been prepared for cutting, and the ginger's ready. Now a good sharp knife helps greatly with carrots. You want to split your carrot down the middle. Right, and then lay your pieces flat. Do one at a time here. And we want to split those once more. And then essentially just dice it up. You can put your vegetables in a bowl to the side as they're prepared in preparation for putting them into the soup. Now with an onion, cut your onion in half, put the flat parts down, and like kind of a pie wedge shape, you're going to slice around. And then just go crosswise to those cuts. And because of the layering in the onion, it'll break up nicely this way into little pieces suitable for your soup. Right? So we get that, do the other ones, put them in the bowl. Okay, for thin pieces of celery like this, I'm just going to dice them, or I should say slice them along. But you may want to split your celery if you have larger pieces. Remember what I said, you can keep the leaves, just slice them up with everything else, and they go great in the soup. Totally editable, or edible, I suppose. I said that wrong. Finish that off and put her in the bowl. Now the ginger is very tough. You just want it in there for flavor. We're actually going to remove it from the soup at the end. So you don't want to chop it up into little pieces, you'll be fishing out all the pieces. But just to put it in as one big lump, you're not going to get the optimum use of it. What you want to do is make some slices into it without cutting through it. And this will allow water to flow into the cracks and give it more surface area to release flavor into the soup, I suppose is the way to describe that. So just kind of give it that sliced up aspect, and you're ready to throw that into the soup. And our peppers, basically, we'll do a quarter of it quickly here. You're going to put it into slices like so, and then dices like so. Alright, let's do that with the rest of the pepper, and you're ready to go. Now, in my opinion, when you're dealing with your garlic, you just basically want to dice it up as finely as possible to spread that nice garlic flavor throughout the soup. We'll cut it in half, lay the flat pieces down, and then basically just attack it. Make it nice and fine. Do this for each garlic clove. How many of these you want to put in is up to you. I'm putting in 4. You can scrape whatever's on the knife off the knife and go at it again. So nice and fine. And we have some cool garlic flavor. Now here's our completed bowl of vegetables ready to go into the soup, and let's take a look at how the first part of our soup on the stove is doing. Okay, so our rice and our chicken have been cooking, and this particular rice has it's got a wild rice mix in it, so it lends a sort of a reddish tone to the soup. But we can also see that our water has been boiling away, so we're going to add water. As many cups as you need. That's not enough. I'll keep doing this. We want to get that pot back up to a little bit more than 3/4 full. Actually, before I do that, adding all that water, we'll add the vegetables, and then we'll know how much water we actually need. And lo and behold, we don't need any more than those 2 cups I just put in. Okay. So, of course, this whole Eureka displacement thing that was discovered years ago takes effect. Okay, so what we want to do now, if it's been long enough, and I think it may have been, we're going to take the chicken out, and we're going to take the skin off and chop up the chicken while the vegetables start to cook. Now, I like to do the meat cutting on a plate instead of the cutting board because you never know quite how raw the meat is still from being in the stock, and I don't like to get raw meat into the pores on the cutting board, right? To keep that kind of stuff under control. There's a lot of food goes on that cutting board, right? So essentially, I'm going to take off the skin portions and separate. That's looking pretty well done. Separate the nice meaty parts from the bone. And then once we have the meat we want to keep, we'll get rid of the debris and we'll dice up the meat. Okay, so now how fine you slice or dice your meat, it's a matter of preference. Smaller than bite size, I think, is good, so you can get other bits on your spoon and into your mouth. So basically, little pieces like so, and just continue on until the whole lot is done. And put it immediately back into the soup so it can cook more and keep adding its flavor to the stock. So this, like this section here, all that's ready for the soup, and we'll do the rest as well. So here's our soup happily boiling away. The meat is all ready to throw into the pot. We'll do that. And as well, we have our bouillon cube. Break that up into little pieces, throw that in. Adds that much more flavor to the stock of the soup. And essentially at this point, you're going to let her boil for 10-15 more minutes. Make sure that meat is well done and give the vegetables time to soften up. At the end of it all, you're going to take out that piece of ginger, because it may look like a potato, but it's not, and you might give somebody a surprise in their bowl if you leave it in there. But essentially, soup's almost done. And this is what it was all about. Bowls of hot, steaming chicken soup. Enjoy your meal.